Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, All Day and Night. And a Night. All Day and a Night. Sorry. So, Netflix movie. Again, that's kind of what we're reduced to. Shouldn't say it that way. This is now what, that's all that's left. Positive. Netflix is fantastic. I don't mean to put them down in any way, but there's no other new movies coming out except for from Netflix. That's what I meant to say. Anyway. It's a movie about a guy who's sent to prison for a homicide, and he looks back on his life to see what kind of circumstances and relationships got him to where he is today. That's what we know. 5.9 on IMDb, so I'm a little disappointed about that. As far as people I know, it stars Ashton Sanders, Jeffrey Wright, Isaiah John. I don't know anybody except for Jeffrey Wright from Westworld. I believe that's where he's from. So it's 2 hours and 1 minute long. So it's kind of long, but I'll get into it here a little bit. Maybe you're afraid to take the plunge on a 2-hour movie, so hopefully I'll keep this review short enough to give you enough information to let you know if you should invest your time in watching this movie or you shouldn't. So I'll start it, figure out what it's all about, give you a better idea, and then ultimately let you know what I think. So stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits for All Day and a Night, and sorry there's no check-ins because essentially it was hard for me to follow. There was at no point in this movie where I'm like, I get it now, I know what's going on, besides what they've told us. That I could check in with you and be like, okay, here's really what the movie's about. The movie's about what they said. It starts off with the homicide that the guy ends up going to prison for. Drakkar, I think his name was, or Jakar is his name. He's our main character. And they show the homicide, and then they jump back 13 years. And then they jump all over the place. So that gets hard to follow. You can kind of figure it out and understand it from that point. But it's hard. It's not easy. You're wasting a lot of time because it's not clear. It doesn't have to be linear for me, but they have to make good breaks. Because once he gets older, he looks the same, no matter what timeline it is. You know when he's a kid, whatever. So that I didn't like. And then it's about, why did a homicide happen? Like, who's he involved with? And they develop that a little bit, and you get that. But then there's the piece of, his friend, Q. And how is he, they're like best friends throughout the entire movie. But I don't understand, there's conversations that I don't get, but nothing transpires after these conversations. I know I'm not making any sense because it's hard for me to talk about this movie without spoiling it for you. But it's not really, for me, I didn't get it. I got the father-son aspect, I got the homicide thing, but there's other pieces of this movie that are pretty relevant, to the way it ends. I didn't understand it. I don't know why. So, there's that piece for it. And I wasn't too, you want to feel for the main character, the guy, Jakar, who does everything. At least I think that's the point, right? I mean, normally, you maybe love him or hate him. In some movies, you really hate the guy. In some movies, you really love him, you're rooting for them. In this one, I felt nothing. I don't think he brought anything to the screen. They didn't, there's nothing. There's no lines for him. He didn't speak a lot. There's no substance to him at all as a character. No offense to the actor himself, but I didn't. And then there was nobody else. There's nobody else in the movie that it's like, oh yeah, I'm really rooting for them, or I really hope something happens to them because I don't like nothing. There's nobody in this movie that you can cling to and be like, this is interesting. None of that. It was, I don't know. They have the whole father-son aspect of it diluted by a bunch of other stuff, and so I don't think that was the main point, but maybe, because I don't know, but it was so diluted that it doesn't matter in the end anyway. You don't care. You miss certain points of it because you're trying to figure all this out, and why are we jumping all over the place? Who's on whose side? Who's the turf war between? Oh yeah, the father-son thing, and blah. So I know. Again, it's hard for me to speak openly without spoiling it for you, but I'll bottom line it for you. There's a good story somewhere in here. There might be even 2 or 3 good stories in here. But they're poorly portrayed in this film for 2 hours and 1 minute. They confused me and made me not care about anything. So, there you go. That's what I got for you. I would not recommend this one. I'm going to 4 or 5 it. That's what I'm thinking. You know, I was hoping for something better, but that's it. That's what I got for you. If you check it out, let me know. What you think? Did you feel differently? Did you like it? Was there a character you liked? Did you understand the whole thing? I understood it, but like, you know what I'm talking about. The ending, not the ending, but you know. All right. I don't know. Without telling you what I'm talking about, it's hard. I get it. So if you haven't seen it, check out some other things first. If this is the last thing on your list, go ahead and watch it if you have to. And then let me know your thoughts. If you've already seen it, let me know what you thought. Maybe you liked it. And what did I miss? Alright, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Tell all your friends to subscribe. We always like subscriptions and like it and whatever. And if you can, continue to come back to Kimmel's Irish Pub for these very insightful movie reviews, beer reviews, and sometimes some fantasy football. Alright, thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.